Dreams can come true. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to this channel, Football Therapy, with me, your host, Yen. And I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Here in the studio outside Stamford Bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, praise aloud. Praise all your respective gods and deities. It would seem Chelsea are not going to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. Chelsea would rather sign other forwards in Cuckoo, looking to make Endrick the star boy, the poster boy of Chelsea's future and youthful talent rebuild. Edouard Mendy might leave. Chelsea might buy a new goalkeeper. Levi Colwell looks ready. He could be the centre-back partner to Wesley Fofana for many moons to come. And Cuckoo is on the brink. Lots to get into today in today's Chelsea News video, and I'm so pleased you are here to join me. And I extend an invitation to you to like the video, mate. You know, one like is one like of my haircut that my mum gave me. I think she's done alright, not butchered me that much. But yeah, thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing if you're new. And should you choose to do so, I recommend you can hit that sweet bell, baby. Not my best. Still early, I haven't had my coffee. Look, mate. Early doors, but let's talk about a big relief. Cristiano Ronaldo not going to go to Chelsea. It's been reported all over the gaff that Graham Potter, like Thomas Tuchel, doesn't want Cristiano Ronaldo to come to Chelsea in January. He wants to work on his systemic way of playing and realizes that Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't contribute to that, as well as, of course, bringing the ruddy circus that's currently killing the mood at Manchester United. You don't want that happening at Chelsea. I just spat a bit of food out of my mouth. So, that's good. Jacob Steinberg of The Guardian tweeting this, currently no indication that Chelsea will go in for Cristiano Ronaldo in January. They know he wouldn't fit Graham Potter's style of playing. Plan is to let Potter build his own team and focus on bringing in young players. This includes making the big efforts, of course, to sign Endrick. But it won't be easy to beat Real Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG to sign the Brazilian forward, the wonder kid, the prodigy that is exciting world football all the way over from Brazil. Over here in Europe, we're incredibly excited by him. Todd Boehly, Chelsea's owner, who apparently did want Cristiano Ronaldo big time, but yes, to reiterate, Graham Potter said no. He's done a lot of groundwork early doors to convince the young Brazilian sensation Endrick to join Chelsea over the competitors, pitching to his family, of course, bringing him over to Cobham and bringing him to meet Brazilian titan, legend, Chelsea player, Thiago Silva. Now look at this guy, Thiago Silva, incredible. Join us. But like pitching to Endrick's father and his family. Look what we're doing at Chelsea. We're building this team, whether it's, Carney Chukwuemeka putting Breuer on a new deal, Cesare Cassidy, Amari Hutchison, who's yet to feature but has been in matchday squads, Mason Mount and Reece James are still young enough, but there'll be senior players in this new crop, in this new sort of devastating attack. And you can be part of that. We want you to be the poster boy, this superstar. Of course he's still very young, but the idea is when he's 18, he'll play. Like Mbappe did for PSG when he was 18, he played. Of course, Mbappe was a superstar at 17 years old in that Monaco side, scoring loads of Champions League goals, etc. He's the wonder kid, and Chelsea want him, and that we're making big efforts to sign him. And that's where, we want to make the poster boy, not Ronaldo, not 38-year-old Ronaldo. So let's move on, be thankful for that and move on. So, of course, the attack will also be reinforced by Christopher Nkunku. Caught offside is reporting on Fabrizio Romano yet again reiterating the situation with Christopher and Cuckoo, of course, in going to play the World Cup with France, having an excellent season again for RB Leipzig, scoring a lot of goals, making a lot of assists, being positionally versatile. Romano says this, like, he doesn't know when it's clear when we'll get an official announcement on Cuckoo deal. It's up to the clubs at the moment, but we will see. The deal is ready, it's just not signed yet, but it's at an important stage. Chelsea and RB Leipzig will discuss about timing of the transfer too, but initially it was always been planned for next summer. Interesting how he's saying that, because yes, it has been planned for next summer, but we wanted to perhaps announce it prior. I don't know why he's saying initially, because is that insinuating that perhaps there could be a change of plan and we bring him in January? Maybe the Chelsea ownership and indeed new recruitment army that they've hired say, oh, Chelsea aren't doing that great domestically in the league. We need some reinforcements up top in attack. We want to get, I don't know, at least Europa League or something. I know they want to get in the Champions League, but it's tough at the moment considering where we are easy for me to say, transitionally. Maybe try and get Cuckoo in earlier. Who knows? It's very, very interesting indeed, but, you know, he will absolutely make Chelsea's attack better. But, you know, just generally, the injuries, you know, imagine after the World Cup, I don't know if Chilwell will be fit, but let's say it's Chilwell, Reece James, and Wesley Fofana straight into the back three. You know, isn't N'Golo Kante going to ever play for Chelsea again? Imagine him in our midfield. He's reportedly being linked yet again to Barcelona on a free transfer. Like Jorginho, he wants to stay at Chelsea, but Chelsea need to think forward, need to continue this joined up thinking for the long-term greater good plan sort of thing. And, you know, and that brings me on to the next part of the video, I think. First off, Mason Mount. Chelsea are still really trying to sign him down to a new deal. It's frustrating of late, but the whole Chelsea team has been. Mason Mount, of course, winning back-to-back Player of the Season at Chelsea. Some people don't like Mason Mount, and every manager that manages him, whether it's Frank Lampard, well, Vitesse liked him as well. I don't know who managed Vitesse at the time. But whether it's Frank Lampard, whether it's Gareth Southgate, whether it's Thomas Tuchel, or whether it's Graham Potter, every single coach has said, why do people not like this guy? He's a manager's dream. He's incredible. Now, his form has been dropping. He's not perfect, Mason Mount. But I think the vast majority of the Chelsea fan base, even the ones that perhaps don't gas up Mason Mount, would be like, yeah, well, we got to sign him to a new deal. This kid is never, you know, going to turn his back on Chelsea. He's always going to work hard, and he's got good production, and he's got tactical versatility. Yeah, and look at his age. He's, 23? He's absolutely a player that's on a positive trend that we need to keep. Now, of course, Reece James, who's probably the one player in the whole Chelsea squad that everyone unites around saying, yeah, he's absolutely special and mustard. He's just signed a new deal worth about £250,000 a week, £250,000 a week, Reece James, which is a lot of money. But if anyone, well, especially for a defender, wing back, you know, anyone further back, you get less money. Further back on the pitch, you get less money generally. So 250k, but it's Reece James. It's Reece James. He is superb, so he deserves whatever he gets ultimately. But Mount, who's currently on a weekly salary of 88,000, so that's like a third. He's of course in the last 18 months of his contract. Chelsea need to and will wrap up an extension of this deal. Well, I mean, Mason Mount's great, but he's not as good as Reece James. You know, obviously there's more pressure on a player in the midfield further up the pitch than. I don't know, like, if you make a mistake, it could be more, actually, I don't know, because, yeah, wing-back's kind of like, you got to work really hard, but you can be a little bit more, I don't know, I guess you can make, because you've got three defenders behind you, and you're not going to lose the ball in the middle of the pitch, so maybe the pressure's off you a little bit. But I think, yeah, regardless, we need to get Mason Mount tied up to a new deal. By the way, in a minute, we're going to talk about the goalkeeper situation, which is very interesting, so keep it locked. But let's quickly move on, as I want to talk about Levi Colwell, of course, put in an excellent performance, sadly in a losing result for Brighton. But yeah, looking very, very good. The 19-year-old left-footed centre-half looking more and more dominant for that Brighton side. Of course, he's good defensively. He's good at progressing the ball and carrying the ball as well. Brighton fans, of course, who have bought Billy Gilmour, who they're quite happy with actually now he's come into the side when they've seen him. They think he looks quite good, but a lot of them are really gutted that they haven't permanently bought Levi Colwell. Because he's looking so good. He is on a loan for Brighton, I believe there's no option to buy, which is great. And Koulibaly, great. I've always loved him as a player, but he hasn't had the best start for Chelsea. That left-sided centre-back spot is available to develop on. And to be honest, man, Fofana's 21? This goes with the whole rebuild for tomorrow. Chelsea building a team for tomorrow. 19-year-old Colwell, 21-year-old Fofana. This goes with the whole, pitch to Endrick that we're making a super team that you can develop with and go forward with. Do you know what I mean? It's very much with that. So I'll be very interested to get people's thoughts on Levi Colwell. Of course, had a great season in the Championship at Huddersfield, and now looks like he's going to make himself an absolute mainstay of that Brighton team under De Zerbi. And he should come back to Chelsea, and because of course Graham Potter was a big fan, originally bringing him to Brighton. What do you think? Comment down below on Levi Colwell, and let's move on and talk about the goalkeeper, the big story. So, Chelsea have lost games of late. I'm going to cite the Mail online, and then Cy Phillips, ding ding, about Edouard Mendy. Headline, Edouard Mendy weighs up the Chelsea exit after losing his first team place to Kepa Arrizabalaga since Graham Potter took charge, with Blues having lost 3 of the 4 games the Senegalese has played since the Spaniard got injured. A little bit unfair to highlight that 3 of the 4 games he's played we've lost, which is true, but I don't think necessarily any of that is on him, though particularly maybe he hasn't played amazingly. He has showed when he's on the ball, he does those little wobblers and freaks out a little bit. Let's read. Chelsea star Edouard Mendy's future is uncertain heading into the World Cup, with the goalkeeper contemplating an exit amid concerns of his first team chances. I mean, if a few years ago, this would be like dreamland for him, but he has won the Champions League as Chelsea's starting goalkeeper. He will need, and he's 30 years old now, he will need to not screw about. He's still a high enough profile to get a good move. The shot stopper has had major success at Stamford Bridge since arriving from Iran for a deal worth £22 million. Bargain, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Although we were being linked with Mike Mignon at the time, I did actually do videos on it. And perhaps in hindsight, it would have been better to get him. Maybe not actually, because we did win he was amazing in the Champions League, Mendy. So maybe he should have, the story is he comes to Chelsea and wins the Champions League. That's important. But the keeper's position as the Blues #1 has been thrown into doubt following the sacking of Thomas Tuchel and the arrival of Graham Potter. Kepa started Potter's reign as Chelsea's first choice keeper during a period when Mendy was suffering with injury. Senegal international Mendy has started Chelsea's previous 4 matches, 3 of which he's lost due to Arrizabalaga sustaining a foot injury. Like I said, not really Mendy's fault. A bit unfair to highlight that. But his recent sequence of games has not softened concerns that Mendy's time as undisputed first choice goalkeeper is over. No, indeed. Let me just drink some water because, hay fever, throat stuff. Chelsea are being linked with other goalkeepers. One, of course, the inevitable Robert Sanchez of Brighton. And yeah, Brighton fans, you don't like us now? Well, apparently we're just going to keep coming back. We're going to keep coming back until you have nothing left. Until you have no manager, until you have no staff, until you have no players. I'm just going to read an excerpt from Cy Phillips' was it called Substack or his news thing? Edouard Mendy. So this is what Cy has to say for further context after reading a bit of that article from the Mail. I'm told that the club have been disappointed with Edouard Mendy's recent drop in form, and this has led to them to really consider the position of goalkeeper at the club, and more importantly, looking at new #1s. Now, this is back from last month when he originally posted this, Cy Phillips. Of course, Kepa is the #1, but he's not necessarily perfect, although we're all quite happy with him, and generally his form has been very good. My best transfer source has given me fresh names who are now the top of our shortlist for the goalkeeper position to replace Mendy, should it come to that. Now, Mike Maignan from AC Milan, that would be an excellent high-profile purchase. Mike Maignan he won Ligue 1 with Lille. He transferred to Milan and won Serie A with AC Milan. Like, the dude is just hopping all over the gap and winging? No, not winging. He's very good. He's winning. He's winning leagues wherever he goes. He'd be very, very expensive, Mike Maignan, surely. Unai Simon from Athletic Bilbao. Now, Unai Simon is, I think he's Spain's starting goalkeeper, and maybe Sanchez is now, but he certainly was. Unai Simon was the one who took Kepa and De Gea's place in Spain when they kept swapping Kepa and De Gea. He was like, right, he took that spot and sort of made it his own above them both. Emi Martinez from Aston Villa, but he's a great goalkeeper, obviously. But again, with Villa have got rich owners, would they sell him? And Robert Sanchez from Brighton, ding, ding, ding. Very good footballing goalkeeper, of course. Recently worked with Graham Potter, of course, and the goalkeeping coach we took from Brighton as well. And of course, the name that I had from another source last week was Porto's Diogo Costa, who we've actually spoken about on this channel before. We also looked at Ilan Meslier from Leeds, but the club feel he would not be an improvement at this time. Yeah, Meslier is a young French goalkeeper. He's very, very tall, really good shot stopper, but he's just used to being in an erratic Leeds team that they ship loads of goals. He's just used to goals going past him all the time. Like, even though he looks good and makes saves, and it's not his fault that they ship so many goals, but they do. It's like in his DNA now. Like, he's just used to goals flying past him, and that doesn't necessarily sit so well with me. Still, though, very, very interesting times. Chelsea are in need of a profound rebuild. I know it, you know it. We can whinge about the manager, we can pine for Thomas Tuchel, but the truth is, mate, rebuilds are coming. The times, they are changing. Please hit the call. Some goalkeepers and midfielders and don't concede goals. And son Christopher and Cuckoo. And we'll win it all. It's my... my Pop Dead impression. Right, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for joining me, and I do appreciate your continued support, mate. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you here on this channel very soon. Football Therapy. One love, peace, up the Chelsea. Laters.